9. We'll start off a little early tonight. I'm going to ask Alderman Conley, if he would, to lead us in a word of prayer before we get going.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Lord, thank you for this another day to serve you. Watch over and guide us. Give us what we failed you each day. Be with us tonight as we make decisions that would be pleasing to you and be good for the citizens of this community. Watch over and guide us as we leave here and give us travel grace. Thank you for the many blessings you have given us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, greetings, everybody. So here's what we got. We have 3 personal appearances tonight. I do ask that each speaker keep it 5 minutes or under, please. And the first one up is Miss Shara Owen. You are up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
You come up here to the podium.
Thank you for allowing me to give an idea for America 250. Is there anybody in this room who does not know what America 250 is? We're starting to celebrate 250 years of freedom in a wonderful country. So I'm going to start with having you imagine when you stand to say a pledge of allegiance to that flag and hear the Star Spangled Banner, and you're outside and it's waving in the wind. How do you feel? And then, and I saw this is so appropriate for what I was about to say. Imagine if you were coming down Interstate 22, going east, and came under 30, and looked to the right, you see the Sportsplex. And if you look to the left, you see Veterans Park and one flag. Well, imagine what you would feel if you saw 250 plus flags waving in the wind in that Veterans Park. Or 250 plus flags waving there. Now keep in mind there will be 30,000 people per day. It's hard for me to believe. 30,000 people a day will be traveling that highway. And what would that say to them if they saw that? That New Albany, Mississippi honors the American flag. We love our country and we love our veterans, male and female, who have protected this country and kept it free for 250 years. And with that feeling, how many of that 30,000 is going to say to someone else, now, what was that town down in Mississippi that had all the flags? And how many times would the name New Albany be mentioned? How many people could be involved in a project like this if they were given the opportunity to buy a flag for someone they loved or a veteran? I think New Albany would not have just 250 flags. I think we would have 500 flags. And this is not an original idea. I first saw this in Marlton, Arkansas, 15 or 20 years ago. And I was on a tour where they led us downtown. This was on Flag Day. And they took us by the hospital, and there was a walking track around the hospital grounds that had 360 flags flying. Now, that doesn't make you have chill bumps. Your imagination is not as good as mine. I've been back many times when there was an appropriate day just to see those flags waving in the wind. Now, this was not on the interstate. They were in town, but people will come there to see that. And the way they handled it was that they put permanent stands along a walking trail. And the flags were purchased by veterans, by people in honor of veterans. And 7 times a year, there is an event to celebrate America, a day that says Celebrate America. And the veterans would put those flags out those 7 days during the year. And they maintained a table, and you could go to that table and ask where your flag was. And they had a directory that would direct you to where your person's flag was. So it became a very popular thing there in that town. So I guess what I'm proposing is not asking you for any money yet, not for any suggestions, but planting a seed. Sam Creekmore and I have been talking about this for about 3 years, and we decided this is the time to put 250 flags along the highway to say to the people of America, New Albany, Mississippi loves America. We love the people who defended America. And we're glad you came by today, and I thank you. That's my presentation. Sam could not be here tonight. He is working on a plan. Sam Creekmore is working on a plan which will be presented at a later time. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank y'all for taking care of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Owen. Next up, Terry Young.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for taking time to listen to my appeal. I won't be too long. Y'all know that I would like to put in a sober living home on Highland Street in the house that was previously used for a very similar setup before. My reputation on what I do in town, what I say I'm going to do, and what I actually do, how I follow through, I feel precedes me. I do what I say I'm going to do. I go above and beyond. I'm not going to sit up here and beg you to allow me to do something. That house was chosen because of the cost of the house and the fact that the price point that it is and the money I have available to throw at making this good thing happen is something that will go farther if I'm able to do it in that place. It was used for it previously. I do believe that the rules were looked at and modified potentially for some personal reasons from a previous board member that may or may not be a close neighbor to that piece of property. But I'm not going to get into the reasons why we have rules and why we don't have rules. I would say that, you know, there are rules that are put in place at times that allow you to say, yes, you're allowed to do that, but designed to prevent it from ever happening. And I do think that this particular house was the reason that the rules are the way they are. And I do think it was disingenuous in how they came about being put in place. As y'all know, I come to a lot of these meetings and I pay a lot of attention. And I'm in work sessions outside of these meetings. And I'm a very, 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 very big proponent of this town and of all the board members up here. This is something good that I'd like to do. I understand that if you don't want to allow it to happen, I understand that. But I do believe that there are other pieces of property and other projects that have been approved and allowed to go forward in this town that had a variance and conditional permitted use that were applied and granted for size specifically. So it's not something that hasn't been done in other projects. It is not something that has been done on this specific kind of project. And I do believe that this will probably die tonight and die with me because the 3-acre requirement was something that was very strategic and is going to carry out the result that it was intended on. And in my opinion, if you're going to have rules, I think they should be straightforward and clear without any agenda or bias behind them. Just say that you don't want them, or come up with a realistic requirement that actually gives someone an option to do something instead of making can do something when there's really things that are considered that make them impossible. I don't like to talk about the things that I do from a charity standpoint, and so I'm not going to pull out every bit of information that I know and play politics up here. It is what it is. Not every type of, it's not a specific type of person that has the opportunity to have an issue with drugs and alcohol. It affects everybody from every walk of life, including people from the walks of life that stood up here and said that they didn't want any part of it. I know more people that have had severe drug addictions and problems that come from a position of affluence than I do people that come from a bad situation. And I do think that women, unfortunately, are shortchanged in their options to be able to recover. And, it may sound sexist to some, but it's just different. Fathers, unfortunately, are absent all the time, but an absent mother is the saddest thing in the world. And for a group of people that already don't have access the way that men do, to continue to not have access and the direct effect that it has on the children and those children's lives, and the fact that those children could grow up to follow in the same footsteps because their parent didn't have an option, is very difficult for me to think about. But it is what it is. I'm asking for an appeal and for you to allow me to use the house as it was used previously for a similar thing. I'm asking for that variance and conditional permitted use, and I can assure you that, like all other projects that I've done, I will do what I say I will do, and I will go above and beyond that like I have on everything else. And if that isn't enough to convince you, I appreciate your time, I appreciate your consideration, and I hold no hard feelings to any of you gentlemen up here, because none of you were a part of what I was talking about earlier, and y'all do a good job. There are a lot of people that come into this room and yell and scream at y'all for things that they think that y'all have done wrong or that y'all haven't done. I've been here. If this isn't my number 200 meeting, it's within one or two of it. I've been here. I've seen what y'all have done, and despite public opinion and what social media says, y'all do a good job, a very good job. You're not perfect, but you do a good job, and I hope that you continue to do that. And I don't want y'all to think, because I do a lot in this town, that this is something I'm going to hold against anyone, because it's not. I would like to do it. It would allow me to do a lot of good. And I nearly lost my life in 2015. And so I understand how it could all be different. And since then, I just try to force good things to happen. And this is one of those things that I'm trying to force happen. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But that's not going to stop me from trying to figure it out somewhere else. But the need is here. The best place is here. The best fit is here in this town. And I'm going to leave it up to y'all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. All righty, next up, Mr. Hutchison with Union County Fair Board.
Like the mayor said, Jimmy Hutchison from Union County Fair Board. I'm also an alderman in Blue Springs, and just retired. I say just retired about 5 years ago, 2019, from the military. Did 32 years with them, and now that I have all this free time, I'm volunteering a lot of stuff to a community that gave to me when I couldn't volunteer, and now I'm able to give back. So at the as an alderman and the fair board, and also something close to what this young man does is Veterans Drug Board. I serve with them in Tupelo as a mentor. So, but I was going to let y'all know some of the stuff that's going on at the fair. If you didn't have the opportunity to go there during the fair and everything, But the fairgrounds, we had a new construction of a lean-to that we put on the arena on the west side. It was a 30 by 100, and we had a cost of that about $17,000. Different things that we saw. My child, she does 4-H, so as far as the show part of it and the livestock part of it, I see it all the time, and I saw different things that we needed. And one of the barns, we did a tie out in the middle. It cost us $1,900, and a new addition for some wash racks for the animals for $500. And of course, new lighting and different things of that nature. But we see future construction, another lean-to on the east side of the arena. And what that'll do is benefit us for rodeos, that they don't have to come in and set up so much stuff, and which will get more rodeos in this area, which will help everybody in the community with people buying food, gas, and hotels possible. And so one of the things that came up during the fair is we've got a bathroom that's dilapidated, probably built in the 60s. And so that's one of the things that's going to get our first attention. It's going to cost us somewhere around $20,000 to $22,000. And wiring for one of the barns, AC for our arena bathrooms, different things like this, revamping the pavilion for future use, because one of the things I saw with the military, so we would get 6,000 people up in the morning and go train, so we had a bunch of stuff to do prior to that. And I saw that it was not streamlined. So one of the things that I'd like to do is do different things construction-wise to streamline our process of taking up and tearing down. But some of the ways that we're going to get funding, new events that we had this year, a sheep and lamb club came, rented the arena and stuff for 2 days, stayed in hotels and ate food here. So that's one of the new things. Had 3 new barrel or rodeos and barrel races. Also, September 13th, we're going to have the first annual Myrtle Invitational Cross Country Run. Somewhere between 15 to 20 teams will come in. So we're probably looking at probably 2,000 to 3,000 people at the fairgrounds that day. And if we say 30% of them stop over and eat somewhere or get fuel or whatever they do, we know income's coming to the town. And one of the other things to offset some of the stuff that we're doing is our campgrounds. We have 22 campgrounds, and we have 8 of them rented right now and looking to rent at least 15. So we know that will increase our revenue coming in. Plus, it helps the town, the people that live there are going to come and spend money in the town. So the town contributes $1,000 to us annually. And we found this out recently and was able to start getting that money to put towards a lot of this construction and everything. But I just come tonight asking you to increase that for us to help with some of these new construction ideas. And not only will it help the fairgrounds and help us get new events and different events in there, but it will also help the town. Because the things we're looking at is going to have people staying over in hotels and spending money in the town. But we'd ask if you, on behalf of the board, I'd ask if you'd increase it to $10,000. Take that into consideration. That's all I have tonight, and I don't have to bow out to go to Blue Springs and see what we have on the agenda.
Pleasure to have you, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Jim.
Jimmy, I got one question.
Yes, sir.
That money that we get, that's for the fair, Union County Fair, right? Or is it for the fairgrounds?
Yes, sir. It's all, the whole board that we have 5 members on the board. We got 3 new ones. I'm actually pretty new to the board. And just like at a Baptist church, when you're late to a meeting, you become the president. And no, it wasn't that way. No, I really wanted to volunteer and to kind of take charge of it with the training that I had in the military, trying to get it going to where we're kind of self-sustainable is what we're looking for. But no, it goes to the fairgrounds, and all the board members are all volunteers. I have guys that come out there. We get to borrow equipment, and not sure where it comes from. I don't ask questions. I just see a bucket truck there. We use it to put lighting up, and so it's all voluntary. Everybody that does it, they come to board meetings just like this. But it does. It goes to the fairgrounds, and
I always thought it was labeled, isn't that labeled?
Yeah, but
I just think, I always thought it was.
right. Well, I mean,
When-
yeah,
when-
for the fair, I mean, that's one of our biggest fundraising events, and we do. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we get, though, a lot of the money proceeds that we get through the fair, we have the Lions Club. They do the gates, different things we have to pay for. We do a contribution to the Baptist Association. I'm not sure who all. We do a bunch of contributions to all these people that come in and help the fair. So a lot of it goes out, but it's just the upkeep of it and trying to get, I mean, bigger and better events in there is what we're looking at.
So where can we see a schedule for what's scheduled, saying?
That's something we're looking at, because I mean, a lot of the stuff that I told them, I said, we need to get like this barrel race this past weekend. And I was like, we had a barrel race, and they said, yeah. I was like, we got to get that to where they give us the information and we publicize it better for them and get more people out. But that's something we're going to work on, is get anything that we have scheduled that people call in and schedule, try to get it to where it's open to the public and everything. But that's I mean, just like with the event with the school, we'll publicize that. I'm sure they will, and we'll publicize that. Anybody can come out for an event like that. But we're open to any event, and the schools, they'll have it for free. There's no rent to the schools, of course, no rent to the city or the county. We had the fireman's family, they all came out, did a big event out there. It's free rent to them, of course.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
All righty. First up, New Albany Light Gas Water's Bill Maddox.
Mayor Board, just have a few items, those to pay bills tonight. First item, pay request to Grace Power Supply. It's a total of 10 different pay applications that the construction's been complete for almost 2 months now. These are just kind of the straggler pay requests. We're finished items up. We had a few items that we added, and there's some storm damage pay apps in here. Total of $551,056.68.
Okay, can I get a motion? By Will, seconded by Keith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
We permitted to advertise for 2 100-amp voltage regulators. These are for use on our electric system. We had some fail, so now we need to we replaced them, so now we need some spares. We do expect these to be over $75,000. We need to advertise them.
Can I get a motion by Kevin Dale, second by Drew? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The third item is for a professional services agreement with Matt Weeks. This is for splicing services on our communication system. We approved a professional service agreement last month. That was really more for storm damage type events. This is going to be for new construction. This will be somebody we'll schedule to come in and help us. He does business as Mad Car Construction. I'm not sure what that has to do with splicing, but he comes highly recommended.
Motion by Will, second by Parks. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The fourth item is a pay request to Southeastern Pipeline and Environmental. This is the fifth pay app on our gas line replacement project on the west side of town. It's for $81,239.94. I did check that we've actually got gas on the new pipeline now. So it's all pressured up. They'll be adding the taps to it over the next couple of weeks. We should be done with this stage of the project, so it's near the end.
Motion by Kevin Dale, can I get a second? Second by Will. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, the last item, when we started the communication system project, the city pledged $200,000 of their, what was then called ARPA funds. It may have changed names since then. We are finished with the project, and ACE has prepared the invoice for $200,000. And we would like, I guess, permission on ACE's behalf for the city to pay approve that invoice.
Motion by Keith, second by Drew. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything? Thank you.
Thanks,
Bill.
Bill.
All right, Billie Jean Stroud.
I have no report, I can do it.
All right, any questions on it? All right. And Jill, museum?
I emailed her.
Police Department, Chris.
Mayor. Lord, I just got one thing, and I wasn't sure about adding, but after reading through it more, I decided to be our best bet. We applied for, some months ago for this year, upcoming year, for adding, additional speed, traffic enforcement, that type of stuff, a grant from the state. It's labeled 402 Police Traffic Services. It's a FY 26 grant, activities to begin October 1, of this year, running through September 30th, 2026, and it's $10,062.64 for basically pay overtime for officers to get out and work extra traffic details and enforcement. And I'm asking the board, it's a reimbursement grant, so what we do is we pay the money out, and then they reimburse the city for the money spent.
Can I get a motion? Motion by Will, second by Kevin Dale. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank y'all. That's all I have.
Thanks,
Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Chase, Park and Recs.
I don't have anything, Mr. Mayor. I emailed our board if anybody's got any questions.
Did they win or lose today?
I got the-
Sorry about that. That was volleyball today. So. All right, Mark, Fire Department.
I emailed my report on the monthly activity, but I do have some personnel requests that I need to get approved. All right, so we had Ryan Pollard wanted to go from full-time to part-time. He's going to swap careers. He wants to carry a pistol and two. So we want approval to take Ryan from the full-time staff and put him back on part-time staff, if I can.
Get a motion by Kevin Dale, second by Parks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. The second thing was, since we had that opening, I'm going to ask the mid-month I contacted you about Ethan Robbins. Ethan was previously with us and he left and he was wanting to come back. And so with that opening, we had an opening to take Ethan from part-time staff back to full-time staff.
Motion by Keith, second by Drew. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next thing was, of course, is we've had some internal promotions. We had 3 people, and I think we can do all these under one on the promotions. We had 3 people that graduated the fire academy, and before they go to the academy, they're listed basically as firefighter probationary. After they complete the academy, then they raise up to firefighter 2. I had Chance Tackett, Channing Lackey, and Logan Moore all graduated the academy last week, and I'd like to move them to firefighter 2.
Motion by Drew, second by Kevin Dale. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
All right. Eddie Latham retired a couple of years ago. He does work part-time for us. Eddie retired out as lieutenant, and a lot of people don't know, but we run a combination department, so we run volunteers part-time and full-time. So Eddie works part-time with us, and I would like to move Eddie from retired lieutenant to part-time volunteer captain, if I might. So it's a technicality. I just need a vote that says it's okay to do that.
Take a motion. Motion by Will, second by Keith. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And my last business is, like I said last month, the crews did request and do the 6-month trial of the 48 hours on, 96 hours off. It was successful. The majority voted to stay on that rotation, and I just need the okay to change and go to that full rotation, 48-96. And this will go with you, Reagan, and also let her have that to keep with it on her paperwork. Yeah, they're the same. Yeah. So I'm requesting that we go permanently 48-96.
If you would set that in the minutes, the reason for those is there were certain people who were a part of the previous settlement. So since they had a settlement for a 48-hour shift, we wanted their approval before we shifted the terms. They've all given written approval. All the ones that are left.
Can I get a motion? Motion by Will, second by Drew. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that's all I have. I appreciate your support.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you, Chief.
Chris, Street Department. You good? Okay. Building Inspector, Eric Thomas.
I emailed my monthly report. The zoning meeting, we had a request from the American Legion at 113 Fairground Circle for a siding variance, and it was approved. Okay.
Any questions?
Thanks, bud.
All right, moving on. Are there any questions for the claims docket for July or the minutes for July 1 and July 10 meetings? Okay, we'll just move on to that action agenda. All right. So I say authority to publish notice of public hearing for the budget for 25-26 coming up. Can I get a motion? Motion by Kevin Dale, second by Drew. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right. And then there's appointment to the GM&O Rails to Trails Recreation District, and that was for Billie Jean, unless you don't want to do it, but you're all in? Okay. Can I get a motion for that? Motion by Drew, you're out, you're maxed out. Can I get a second? Second by Parks. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, motion carries. I'm just kidding. Thank you for helping me out on that. All right, so we have a situation that happened on Baker Street a while back. And there was a request in for Booker Street to be, Kevin, if you want to elaborate on that, just changed from, instead of being able to come out of it, to have a one-way street, so we can do that. You want to speak on that for a minute?
What happened was there was a young child that come out on Booker Street and hit a car on Baker Street. The child did not die there on the scene. The child died later. But we've had numerous people from the community concerned about the hedge road that's on Baker Street. As you come out on Booker Street and you look up Baker Street, they say you can't see around the hedge. I went to the family and asked them years and years and years to keep the hedge road cut. They won't do it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to one-way Booker Street off of Baker Street. In school, Bill Ford School, when they come to pick up the kids there every evening from the school, they make it a one-way because they have 30, 40, 50 cars, so you can't get through there but one way. So we're going to one-way it all the way around to 4th Street, I think. 4th Street.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to?
I'll make a motion. I met with Kevin Dale, Chris, and we looked at it. I make a motion to make it a one-way street.
Got a motion by Parks. Give me a second. Second by Keith. Any?
4th Street. It's going to go all the way around. One way.
Any questions, comments?
Chris, do you got one-way signs? We got signage to go with?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, let's see here. Finish up with the tax exemptions. Let's see, we have Albany Industries. We got Dunn Utilities. We have Metal Impact for last year and this year, and VIP Luxury Seating, and lastly, Homestead Furniture. Can I motion by Keith?
Why is Metal Impact?
They didn't do it last year.
Yeah, you do it a year late, you just lost a year. You can only get 9 years left.
Appreciate it.
Got a motion by Keith. Second. So Parks. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, board. Any other questions or anything for tonight? Reagan? All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Kevin Dale. Second by. All in favor?